All right, so you're getting into music production. You get that brand new synth or that killer reverb plugin, you're super excited to use it, you run the installer, and then you hit a wall of just confusing letters. Today, we are going to solve that puzzle for good. Let's get into it. Yeah, this screen right here. We've all been there. You see this list of formats and you're thinking, which boxes am I supposed to check? You're not alone, I promise. But by the end of this, you're going to know exactly what to pick every single time without even thinking about it. So what even is an audio plugin format? The easiest way to think about it is like this. It's a language. Your plugin, your cool new synth, is a guest speaker, and your DAW, your recording software, is the audience. The plugin format is the language they both have to speak so they can understand each other. If they don't speak the same language, you get nothing, just silence. Now, here's the thing that's going to save you a ton of time and confusion. The best format? It's not really a matter of opinion. The choice is pretty much made for you. And it all comes down to two simple, non-negotiable things: your computer's operating system and your DAW. That's it. So for this first part, we're going to see how your own personal setup, the computer and software you already have, basically filters out most of the options for you right from the start. First up, your operating system. Think of it like the first bouncer at the club. If you're on a Windows machine, you can immediately forget about AU. Just cross it off the list. That's an Apple-only party. Now, if you're on a Mac, you've got more options, but as you're about to see, you're not going to need all of them. And the next filter is your DAW itself. Some of them are just really picky. If you're a Pro Tools user, your decision is made. You have one option and one option only: AAX. End of story. Same deal if you're a Logic Pro user. It's audio units or AU all the way. For you guys, the choice is easy because, well, there is no choice. But for the huge majority of us using DAWs like Ableton Live, FL Studio, Cubase, Reaper, Studio One, you actually do have a choice. And in that world, one format has really become the go-to universal standard, and that's VST3. Okay, so now that we know the basics, let's put these main formats head-to-head and really see how they stack up against each other. This chart breaks it all down pretty clearly. You can see right away that VST3 and Clap are the open ones. They work on pretty much any system, and they're open source, so any developer can use them for free. On the other hand, AU and AAX are proprietary. They're locked into Apple and Avid's ecosystems. And that openness, by the way, is a huge reason VST became so popular in the first place. So if you're not locked into Logic or Pro Tools, why is VST3 the default recommendation you always hear? Let's dive into the specifics of why it's the modern choice. Okay, this is a really important one. You might still see an installer option for VST or VST2. You need to understand, this is old technology. Steinberg, the company that made it, stopped developing it way back in 2013. And the single biggest difference is how it treats your poor computer's CPU. And here it is, the VST3's superpower. It's something called silence flagging. Basically, a VST2 plugin is always on. From the second you load it, it's eating up your CPU even if there's no audio running through it at all. VST3 plugins? They're smart. They can tell when there's silence and they just go to sleep, freeing up your CPU for other things. In a big project with tons of tracks, this is an absolute game changer. And beyond just saving your CPU, VST3 just makes your life easier. You can actually resize plugin windows to fit your screen, your automation is surgically precise, you can route multiple MIDI instruments to one single plugin, even your DAW can sort them into nice, neat folders for you automatically. These are just huge quality of life wins. Okay, let's bust a myth right now because this is a big one. VST3 does not sound better than VST2. The actual code that processes the audio is exactly the same. The difference isn't in the sound, it's in the modern, efficient wrapper that lets the plugin run on your system without hogging all your resources. So, VST3 is the current king of the hill, no doubt about it. But there's a new player on the field that's been getting a lot of buzz. Let's talk about Clap. Clap stands for Clever Audio Plugin. It was developed by the smart folks behind the Bitwig DAW and the Synth company. It's completely open source, and it was built from the ground up for modern computers. Its big promise is even better performance, especially when it comes to handling all the multi-core processors we have today, which is something VST3 can still struggle with. But here's the challenge for any new standard. As one person wisely put it in a forum, being technically better doesn't guarantee you'll win. Remember Betamax versus VHS? Betamax was technically the superior format, but we all know which one everybody ended up with. It's the same idea here.
See, for Clap to actually take over, it needs to win on two fronts at the same time. It needs plugin companies to start making Clap versions of their stuff, and it needs all the big DAW companies to support them. Right now, VST3 has years and years of momentum, and almost everybody uses it. That is a massive head start.
Okay, we have covered a lot of ground, so let's just boil this all down into a super simple, actionable checklist you can use every single time you install a new plugin. Honestly, it's this simple. 1. Know your OS, Mac or Windows. 2. Know your DAW. Is it Logic or Pro Tools? If so, your answer is right there. 3. If you're using literally any other major DAW, just pick VST3. And 4. Do yourself a favor and uncheck all the other formats. It keeps your plugin folder clean, and it saves you precious hard drive space. So the crucial point, the main takeaway is this. For performance, for modern features, and for future-proof compatibility, VST3 is the clear, safe choice. It's the stable, efficient, industry standard for making music right now. But you know, the story isn't quite over. Steinberg recently made VST3 completely open source, which takes away one of Clap's biggest advantages. And that raises a really interesting question. Is that move going to cement VST3's spot on the throne for years to come? Or does a really ambitious newcomer like Clap still have a shot at becoming the next universal language for all of our DAWs? The future of our virtual studios is definitely still being written. It's going to be fascinating to watch. Thanks for tuning in.